welcome everybody here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. Thank you, Scotty, as I'm hearing myself blaring through.
Sound of your voice, bro. You had to turn it up before we came in
Yeah,
here.
you and David keep preaching that one. I promise you it's not the case. It is a little bit, but not always. Welcome everybody here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Andrew Valentine. I hope you're all having a fantastic Spooky Friday, because it is Halloween after all, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Halloween to everybody out there. As we are coming to you live here from the LA Media School. Really, Scotty? Yeah. Dope Marie came in here with a white sheet on, and he...
As a boo ghost, you have to preface that, because
No, I
you
don't.
think it's something else.
No, I don't. I don't have to say anything
Came
else.
as a Charlie Brown ghost.
No, you didn't even come as a Charlie Brown ghost. The Charlie Brown ghost has holes in it.
Well, I'm not stupid like Charlie Brown.
Okay. Well, that's debatable. We love Scotty. Scotty Kiefer's here with us as well, ladies and gentlemen. Scotty, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic, Andrew. Thanks for letting me join you.
Of course. One of these days, many people have asked, when is Scotty going to get on the table? The plan has always been to get Scotty up here with me. The problem is that unfortunately we had a director.
Somebody's got to switch his cameras.
Yeah, we had a director, unfortunately, that cannot be here anymore, or for whatever reasons, busy schedule, I'm sure. We're trying to find somebody else eventually, maybe get somebody trained in here who eventually can not only just do the Fridays, but hopefully we can maybe even do for the Tuesdays as well. So that's kind of the plan. So for the time being, Scotty's still going to be the man in the back, as it were, and probably on occasion when maybe some of these people cannot make it. But that's kind of the plan. So Mondays are kind of backburnered. Tuesdays are kind of the goal right now. So Fridays, absolutely, certainly, we're going to still be going. Tuesdays are hopefully going to make sure Fridays are a short show. That's kind of the plan.
Short, and by short, he means an hour and a half.
Yeah, because, I'm long-winded. Scotty's got his say. I want to let Scotty's have his say, so it obviously can go long. And I want to make sure we get out of here quickly, too, because I want to make sure we've got BK Dub coming up after us. I know we're going early. Yes, Bad Karma Wrestling usually goes before us, but now they're going after us because people have a little bit of a busy time. So make sure, guys, check out Bad Karma Wrestling right here on the YouTube side. That's at the Bad Karma Wrestling YouTube channel. Check them out, guys. A lot of stuff dropped for the WWE and AEW. Some of it I'm kind of intrigued with. I can't lie. Some of them I'm kind of intrigued with. I'm interested to see what the boys have to say. There's some interesting storylines, I gotta say. I don't know, good or bad. That's I'm not the aficionado on this, let's say, but I'll let them have their take. I certainly have my own thoughts. We'll see. But yeah, make sure to go check them out, Bad Karma Wrestling. And then obviously too, I don't know if we will do it today. I have to talk to David about it, but I'm sure we can probably get to it. But we'll let you guys know. Blow the whistle as well on the radio side. Check us out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're hitting all the sports stuff. It's myself, David Dykstra, Tyler Beautiful, Nick Johnston, No Gimmicks Nick Johnston, and Frankie Oliveri. Frankie, by the way, is not here. I don't know why. But unfortunately, yeah, I know. Fortunately, he couldn't be here. So, Oliveri, I hope you know we love you, man. I hope you know we appreciate you, all that good stuff. If you guys want to check us out anymore, though, real quick, streaming, YouTube, Twitch, check it out. That's the YouTube X-Bomb Sports Channel and Twitch X-Bomb Sports Channel. Type it in. It's the first thing that pops up on the link. That's why we're so unique. Also, too, check us out on all the social media. Those pop up on Google as well. Well, why would you Google them? Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and, of course, TikTok as well. And then, any questions or comments, any things you want to ask us, you can always hit us up on the social media, but why not even make it more personal? Hit us up at xbsportsofficial@gmail.com. And I always appreciate and thank you guys for all the questions, which help fill out this show. And, of course, we will get to more of your questions to fill out the show, obviously, if we can get a Tuesday show going, too, because I know some of you guys have been asking the weird, wild, and wacky kind of personal stuff, all that good stuff and everything. Eventually, we'll get back to that stuff. No more fish questions, though, okay? I'm begging you. No more fish questions. Let's keep it kind of more tame to what we do here.
Andrew, got some breaking news for you.
Do you?
I do, actually.
Oh, okay.
Mike McDaniel will remain the Miami Dolphins head coach for at least the remainder of the season.
Okay, all right.
Embarrassing game last night.
Yeah, I mean, kind of Kicking it off, obviously, with this news. I mean, we've got some NFL stuff, and
That's not like too crazy.
Yeah,
but I just wanted that just dropped from Jeff.
Yeah, I saw a statement came out from Stephen Ross. I'm kind of looking at it right now, reading through it as quick as I can. Blanket statement from an owner who I'm sure is probably gonna. I have a feeling is gonna fire McDaniel and Chris Greer, the GM, probably at the end of the season.
I think Greer might be okay.
He shouldn't be, though. That's the thing.
No, but you see, the thing is he is bringing in the talent.
Yeah, but the talent's not. It's not blending, though.
I could see them keeping Greer, but saying McDaniel was only good for like a short term.
Yeah,
I could see them saying that.
It's just it feels like you would then be carrying like Chris Greer. The problem with Chris Greer is that as much as you want to say, well, he's done this and he's done that and he wanted this and he wanted that and he had to fight Brian Flores tooth and nail to make sure that, between the Tua thing and I mean, that's the thing, right, is that Chris Greer wanted Tua. Like, that's the biggest thing that's going to be his problem, right? You did get Jalen Phillips. You did get Chop Robinson. You did get you're right. He's got a lot of talent.
He's also got the trade packages behind him. Like, how many trades has he made that's really helped the team? I mean, that team is inexistent without a Tyreek Hill.
Absolutely.
That team doesn't have a Bradley Chubb.
Absolutely.
He's gotten Minkah Fitzpatrick traded to the team and then off the team.
Right.
Like, he's made trades that have actually helped out the Dolphins.
Oh, sure.
So that's also kind of the reason that I think that they could keep him.
Right.
Also, his draft record isn't that bad.
No, look,
it's not as bad as some other GMs.
You're right. In comparison, he has been decent. But the issue here is you got a quarterback who can play, but is been so up and down in his career, be it the concussions or anything like that. I know we were just supposed to mention this very quickly, but I apologize. But it's just this obviously for the Dolphins, this is a impact moment for them because, all right, see what Mike McDaniel can do. Where is he at then? I just think that Chris Greer, as much as you want to say, you've done some good. The quarterback situation kind of put the whole thing in turmoil, and they have yet to advance to an AFC championship, and that's the goal, right? Stephen Ross is an older owner, and older owners, as we know, get impatient. And how much patience is he going to have, not just with Mike McDaniel, but also with Chris Greer? You gave him like about 8 years now. Are you going to give him more years? That's going to be the question. But we'll see. He sounds adamant to keep both of them right now. So
I would say Greer right now is maybe at a 50.
Probably
50-50.
It's a coin toss.
It's a coin toss. It's a coin cost when if he could even be fired at the end of the year. I think McDaniel is.
Yeah,
I think he's a great offensive schemer.
Yeah,
but as a locker room leader coach to bring everyone together, he lost that locker room after week 1.
Yeah, no,
he lost the locker room halfway through the year last year. He is not a locker room coach to keep everyone together and on the same page.
No, he's a player's coach. He's a good, fun guy.
I would debate that.
That's the problem, right? I think on a personal level, I think he can connect with some of these guys. When it comes to the group, I don't know if he's got everyone's ear. And when you're a coach, you've got to get the leaders, or at least the big talent guys, to be able to believe in you. And it doesn't sound like Tyreek Hill ever really kind of backed him. Bradley Chubb never really. Jalen Phillips never really. It was always a wish-washy thing, it sounds like, when it came between Mike McDaniel and the top dogs in Miami, if you will. The only guy that seemed to really click with him was Tua, and even I have to kind of question, like, how close were those two guys even? I find it hard. I find Miami's a problem.
My hot take is
big
that
problem.
My hot take is Mike McDaniel struggled with the fact that Tua's a lefty.
Probably, yeah, that might be it.
I could see that because people complain about Tua all the time. You put his highlights in reverse, make him look like a righty. Some of the throws, man, he makes are insane.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback. Look, he's a good quarterback, but something is off with this dude.
He's definitely not in the bottom 12.
No.
Which, honestly, that's ideal.
Right.
That's ideal. As long as you don't have like a bottom 12 quarterback in the league, probably sitting pretty good. Top 20 or higher, you got at least a playoff team.
Right.
Or at least
you would hope.
Could contend.
You would hope. Is it sad to say that he might be the best of this Alabama quarterback bunch? and that's not saying much to come out of that Nick Saban era. Like, that's
well, no, because Jalen Hurts is better.
I attribute him more to Oklahoma, unfortunately.
Fair.
Like, he learned. I've always said this with Jalen Hurts.
That's like USC representing Jackson Dart. Bro.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you come out of the school you come out of. He learned to be a leader, and he learned to be a good a man of the game at Alabama. He learned to be a quarterback when he went to Oklahoma. That's how I put it. But all right, see what happens with Miami. All right, let's get into the meat of this, shall we? Of this show. So we're gonna kick this one off with the World Series because tonight it's Game 6, and we came out of this.
Whoa!
I did not think this was going to happen. We both said 5 games for the Dodgers because who's beating this team that has clearly been built for the playoffs, built for championships? They've got Hall of Famers out the wazoo. They arguably have the GOAT of GOATs of baseball on their team in Shohei Ohtani, who's just doing magical things. And yet, the Toronto Blue Jays are going, well, hold my beer, eh?
We have a Trey Savage. We have a Alejandro Kirk. We have an Ernie Clement.
Yeah. None of you even know who they are. You don't know what they look like.
Well, everyone knows what Alejandro Kirk looks like.
Well, yeah, now you do. But folks, this is a little unprecedented because I don't know if there was another team that we looked at, and because when we talked about this, obviously last week, we did give the Blue Jays a little bit of props, I would say, and we certainly gave them credit and thought maybe they could make this a game, but it really came down to one team seems to have a very complete look to themselves. The Blue Jays seem to be a high-powered offense, and the defense was certainly a question. Certainly when you say, hey, we're going to take this rookie, 22-year-old rookie, who just came up this year through the ranks, AA, AAA, and into the majors, and we're making him Game 1 starter. And not only does he play well, pitch well, and help them win Game 1, but then he goes out in Game 5 here.
And has, like, the best rookie performance ever.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Not only that, a dominant performance for a World Series of this in the last 20 years, you could say, for a pitcher. I haven't seen anything like that. And when you consider he's a 22-year-old rookie, I cannot overstate that.
He's drafted this year.
Yeah, exactly, from East Carolina. For me, you don't know where East Carolina is. Nobody does. You just know what's in Carolina. Well, yeah, you and I do, of course, yes. But you don't know. He's from Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Pottstown, okay?
Bro should be in Beauty and the Beast, bro.
Yes. Dude comes from a town who used to have an NFL team that is defunct, that actually won an NFL championship in like the early 20s, and then had to give it to the Cardinals, and then it caused a curse or something. It's a really weird thing. I don't know. But that's my point. This guy comes from a town that you don't know about, comes from a school that you probably didn't know had a baseball team unless you really know sports, and ends up now, dare I say it, he looks like he's going to probably be World Series MVP right now. It's between him and Vlad, I would argue.
It's between him and Vlad.
That's
got hurt.
Yeah,
it's between him and Vlad. You know what I said last week? I said I hope the Blue Jays at least get one game where the vibes in, Rogers Center is just off the charts. They're hitting home runs, and we got that Game 1.
That's the thing.
And then they are going back to Toronto with a chance to win the World Series. They have 2 chances.
And that's the other thing about this too.
Yeah, it's not that they're going to L.A. up too. No, they're going back to Toronto.
They are going home. They're going home. They went into Los Angeles 3 straight games in L.A., and you would think, oh, well, this is where they get wiped. This is where they get wiped. Come on, this is Dodger territory. Come on. They take 2 out of 3 in back-to-back games? No. You don't do it. The Dodgers have 51-29 at home or something like that. I know they have a winning record. I know they have like over 50 wins or something like that at home. You don't win against the Dodgers at home. That's where they dominate. I'm blown away by how this Toronto team It's not even resilience now. It's, oh, we know we can get one on you. And it only takes but one guy to make that one play. It's a hit. It's a strikeout. They've got energy. They've got chemistry. There's something with this ball team that's right now on fire. El Fuego. Like, mucho caliente. Like, seriously. And, by the way, for those that don't recognize, they didn't have George Springer in the lineup in this Game 5. Like, one of their best players is not in the lineup. I find it hard to explain. I really do. Because Ohtani is playing out of his mind. Like, the stars are all shining.
A fun fact about Ohtani, I don't know if you saw this on Twitter. So, if you go to baseball games, you can go to the pro shop and buy game-used baseballs.
Right.
Well, they're selling baseballs from the NLCS game.
Okay.
Where he had 10 strikeouts and 3 home runs.
Yeah.
In the Dodgers pro shop, it's going for $84,000.
That is
in a freaking pro shop.
That is insane.
Hey,
in
honey,
fairness,
hey, honey, I'm going to the Dodgers game. How much did you spend on tickets? I only spent about, like $100 to, sit in the nosebleed seats.
Yeah.
So why is there an $84,000 charge on our credit card? No reason. No reason.
Ignore the box
Gotta
that I
take out a
have in my
second
hand.
mortgage to go to the Dodger game because I got to get this Ohtani ball.
Yes. It is a part of history. I get it, but that's insane. That's insane. I'm sorry. That's crazy. Like,
you know what? I will admit, and I'm not saying this based off of how, when I got off here, I was driving to work and I was listening to like a preview of the World Series, and I go, you know what? It's either going to be Dodgers in 5, or this is going to go to 7, and we're going to be really surprised that Toronto's turning around. And I'm like, after that, I was like, you know what? I wish I could have said that because I could really see that happening because this isn't like a push over Blue Jays team.
Yeah.
This is a team that faced adversity during the year that was, 4th and 3rd in the division. The Yankees were going to tremble over them. Everyone thought the Orioles were at the beginning of the season, but they made quick work of everyone in the division and overtook the Yankees. They barely won the division compared to the Yankees, but they just overstepped everyone's boundary. They broke the mold of, hey, the Blue Jays are a team that just makes mistakes. They don't put it all together. They can't get into it. And right now they're finally putting it all together and putting together the potential that everyone thought Toronto had to get there. And it's working. This is exactly what people envision Toronto to be doing when they make signings like, they get Vlad in the international. They draft Bo Bichette. They get George Springer. They get Scherzer. They make all these pitchers. They bring up this Savage who's playing so good. This is what This is what everyone has envisioned for Toronto over maybe the last 2 years. And it's finally all coming together.
This was a team. For those, perhaps I may not be remembering this properly, but if I remember this correctly, this was a team that from early odds predictors, be it the experts or whoever it was, the machines, the AI generations, they were picking Toronto to finish 3rd in their division. Like they were saying the Yankees are going to come out on top, and then the Red Sox, they've clearly made improvements. So I mean they've got Crochet and Bregman, and they're gonna figure it out. And then Toronto, they'll win games, they'll have a winning record, they'll get in the playoffs, but they'll just be there. They'll be a wild card team. That was kind of the thought.
I think it was also even less because people thought the Orioles were going to repeat their 100 from last year.
Yeah. There were some people that really did even count them out even further. And this team went out in the season, played very basic baseball, right? Get on base, put guys in scoring position, and let your thunderous home runners in Springer and Vlad send them around. Very basic, run-of-the-mill stuff. Nothing too flashy. And they executed, right? I mean, you let guys like Bichette, who's a shortstop, you let him go and hit in DH as he has been for the last few years, and he's found a niche for himself because defensively he's so wishy-washy. But
he's also playing a little hurt too.
That's and he's playing through injury. But you give him a bat and say stand in there and get a hit and get on base, guy toughs it out. Guy sits there, watches every pitch that comes at him. Toronto, you'd be smart to, I would say, at least pay the man. I don't know, just saying.
And you know what? I think you're also overlooking this. Toronto went into L.A. 1-1.
Right.
And took 2 of 3 after a game where they went 18 innings. They played 2 full games.
Yeah.
And they came back the next day, came back the next day and won. Now they're going to Toronto with a chance to win it.
I mean, and that's the crazy thing. And for the sake of the Dodgers, like, argument to be made, I guess, if anything, like, you go 18 innings with Ohtani, well, not with Ohtani, but you go the 18 innings, Ohtani's going the next day. Like, he's just finished a baseball game at 3 a.m., right? And all of a sudden now he's got to step in there and pitch. And, like, he pitched fine, but, like, what would he have been had the game been able to end earlier? Perhaps he would have been more dominant, and maybe the Dodgers do have this lead. Who knows? But as it sits right now, you're dealt the cards that you have in your hand. You got to play with them or you got to fold on them. Nice one, Nick. Nick Johnson is here, folks, by the way. But it's wild to think that Toronto is making this such a good fight. And that's the thing is, like, this was a World Series that for a lot of people were like, okay, we're going to watch. You know, viewership is certainly up on baseball. Playoffs have been great. But this is one where I'm just like, man, this is every game is a game. Everyone, they're always in it. Everybody's always in the fight. There's a shot that, yeah, the Dodgers might be able to come back. Man, the Blue Jays might be able to take it. It's crazy to think that you've gotten to this point where now in Game 6, we're looking at the Dodgers and going, do or die. Holy cow. I'm shocked. And I give them props. I give them major props. Plus side goes to the Dodgers, honestly. But I still believe Toronto can possibly do it. They're at home. They've got the home country advantage. And how crazy is it, too? The season started in Tokyo. It's ending in Canada. Like, whoever wins this, it's ending in, like, it's nuts. It's truly showing how far baseball's coming from, and I'm impressed. I really am. We'll see what comes next from baseball. Tonight's the night. Game 6, folks. Be ready for it.
Who would you start 7 if it goes 7?
If it goes 7?
Because it's Gossman and Yoshinobu tonight.
I mean, if it's Game 7, if you're Toronto, I think you have to start.
You Savage on what? 3
not you Savage. I would go with Scherzer. I would go Scherzer, and I would save you Savage for if you need him later on in the game to give him more rest. I would. And as far as the Dodgers go,
Glass now.
As far as the Dodgers go, for Game 7, I don't know if you would want to throw Ohtani out there. You need him to hit balls. You need him to punch it. Yeah, that's the thing. He's so tired. And you can't use Yamamoto again, so I guess you would maybe have to rely on Glass. Because I can't trust Blake Snell right now. I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't.
Can we just talk about how Mookie Betts has just done nothing for this Dodgers
that's the
squad?
other thing. Yes, Mookie's just worn out, I think. I think he's just worn out. Because he was sick. He lost all that weight because he was sick. He's been injured. But, yeah, he has absolutely done nothing for this ball team. And maybe the move to shortstop, it looked like a good one at the beginning. But right now, it looks like it's possibly he's got no gas left in the tank at this point.
He even admitted it, and then David Ortiz was like basically just like, damn, I hate seeing him look like this, because they used to be teammates, obviously,
right,
for a short period of time. But yeah, he's like, yeah, I hate seeing this kid basically have no confidence. So that also kind of made me think, it's kind of a sidetrack, but like that weird thing of like him being a broadcaster and like also being a friend, like how do you cross that line of like, I want to root for you, but I can't really? I don't know. It's kind of tough.
I don't know. They do have A-Rod and Jeter on there just loving the Yankees all the time. And then you have David Ortiz hating the Yankees all the time. So, there's that, too.
I mean, sending him, a personal text. I don't know if that...
Yeah. No, and that's... I mean, it's unfortunate because I would say argue that Mookie Betts could be a guy that's going to be making the Hall of Fame. His numbers are there. I mean, he's got the World Series rings. He's been one of the best players in baseball for a good period of time, and it does stink that unfortunately he's not there. And I mean, Dave Roberts is the one that's kind of like giving him like the, hey, we're going to go ahead with it and we're going to see what happens. But I don't know, if I'm Dave Roberts, you might be thinking about, you already dropped him down on the lineup. I mean, God, I would hate to see him not play, but if you think he's more of a detriment, maybe you consider possibly taking him out. I don't know. I'm not a manager for baseball. The game calls for situational stuff, but if you think he's going to possibly be a liability, you may have to go with somebody else and see if they can pick up the slack potentially. Unfortunately, but this is going to be an interesting game to watch. This for sure. Absolutely for sure. All right, let's get into it. The NFL quick hits, ladies and gentlemen. As always, we take your questions, we take your comments, we throw them into our mixer, and we give you the quick hits on this one. Real quick, burn through these. All right. Yes. Bears played a game against the Baltimore Ravens, and it did not go well. Okay, 30-16. It was a front-to-back offense and defense. Nothing looked like it was moving right. There was a ton of issues. Now, defensively, it was really issues with cornerbacks are injured. I couldn't even remember Jalen Jones was on the team. Covering wide receivers seemed to be a tough spot. Outside of that, too, they don't have another edge rusher, and it's starting to show more and more. And it's becoming a problem, a major problem. You can't get any pressure from the opposite side. Montez Sweat is getting stuck on double teams. Gervin Dexter is, I think, trying, but it's not enough. And Grady Jarrett is looking like an old defensive tackle. Like, he can still get moves done, but I don't know if he's the answer. Like, they've got 7 defensive tackles. You can't find one guy to be able to plug in there with this big old dude you got from Florida. I think Gervin Dexter can be an answer there, but it's so wishy-washy on that. And then the offense, look, I'm going to say this as quick as I can for Caleb, okay? Because I know there's a lot of people that are going to be critical for what happened there in this game for Caleb Williams, and I agree. He did not look well. By the statistics, you could say not a bad game. From the eye test, though, he had some moments where you just went, man, this isn't the improvement's not where it's supposed to be. And it's not the special, right? It's not the big plays. That throw to DJ Moore is like, man, that's the top quarterback. It's the little things. It's the crossing routes. It's the curls. It's the quick out to the flats. It's these little things that he should be able to do. 1, 2, 3, hit that back step, and boom, ball's coming out of your hand. It's a lot of that. It's arguments that obviously we have made before when it came to Justin Fields, and we've made for other quarterbacks too, right? And when you're obviously seeing the success that Jaden Daniels had last year, and you're seeing the success that Drake May had this year, and you're going, man, why can't Caleb seem to get it right too? I mean, the only argument I could offer up that would be the one that we've been kind of harping on is first-year coach, new offense, trying to get things together. To put it all in perspective, to give somebody out there, what I think, and this personally be just me, what I think is the problem for Caleb Williams in this, I think there's a good possibility here that you have a second-year quarterback who basically wasted a year with no coaching help in his first year, who's now trying to rush all of this knowledge of how to run Ben Johnson's offense in his second year, and whilst trying to learn all this knowledge of how this offense works for Ben Johnson and all the nuances and all this stuff, I think through all of those things, he's forgetting the little stuff. Get the ball out to the open man, make the pass right here, find the read, find the better option. These little things, the little details, okay? It happens. I think we've all been there, right? We've all been there, like in school, right? You've studied for something for so long. Like for me, I studied trigonometry once so hard that I forgot how to do simple addition and subtraction. I know that sounds stupid, but it made me fail a test because I wasn't doing the little things because I was so focused on the hard stuff that I didn't know. And I think it's possible that maybe Caleb Williams is doing the same. Maybe he's focused so much into the books and into the film that maybe it's time for Ben Johnson to say, you know what, time to focus on the small stuff so you're not sweating the big stuff so that now he can just play. And it just comes more naturally and he can just feel it out. And eventually things will slow down and he'll get it. I don't want to call the kid a bust. I don't think it's proper to call Caleb Williams a bust because he's not a bust. He still has so much he can show. The potential is there. Is he up to the level of the other rookies like Daniels and like May? Sure, no, he's not. But can he get there? Absolutely. You see it. It's in front of you. The fact that there are still people that sink their teeth into this idea that, ooh, he's bad and we've always known he's been bad. Well, that's on you. That if that's the way you want to take it, fine. That's totally fine. But I would rather say let's wait to see what happens for the rest of the season. I'd say give it to Thanksgiving. See what Thanksgiving looks like. By that point, let's make a judgment call by then, shall we? Because here's the thing. Even if he's not Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, would it be the worst thing in the world to say that he's Dak Prescott and Jordan Love when those guys have obviously made the playoffs? Yeah, they haven't made a Super Bowl. Yeah, they haven't made an AFC or NFC championship. But is it the worst thing in the world to say that he might be in that category of a quarterback that can put the ball down the field and make moves? I don't think so. Food for thought on it, ladies and gentlemen. You guys got any say for the Bears and Ravens you want to give? For a quick one before we end out.
When we discussed on Tuesday, I was on the opposite end of Nick. I was kind of just like, meh, Ravens came off a bye. Normally teams win off a bye. I mean, they didn't look impressive. There's glaring problems. But I think that they just, went in over their heads on a 4-game win streak and kind of missed crossing some T's and dotting some I's. And they need to rebound this week against the Bengals, who you're about to talk about. So
yes.
That's where I was at with it.
Obviously it's glaringly obvious when the Bears don't get turnovers, they lose.
Yeah.
And
like every team in the NFL.
But I mean there was just a glaring problem there. And then on top of it, I think one of the bigger ones for me was after like the first 15, 20 plays, Caleb Williams just nothing gels after that. So that's a huge problem as well.
No. The one thing I did say when we talked about it on Tuesday, I said it's glaringly obvious when you can't score in the red zone that the biggest problem for me, DeAndre Swift's just not the right running back.
Yeah.
I mean,
they don't throw any targets to the red zone.
Yeah, and they don't throw. Yeah, I mean they're gonna run the ball with him, but he's not a powerhouse. Can get you the extra 2 yards if he gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. He's not that running back.
Right.
And, I mean, you can get Roshan in the game, but that's like a huge step down. He's also not really that running back either because he's not to the level of it.
Right.
So they just don't – to me, they don't have the right running back to do that. And they keep giving him the ball 3 times.
No.
Yeah, of course you're not going to score. You don't have Derrick Henry on the other side.
Right.
I know that's the top-tier example, but you got to find some middle ground there.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, my biggest thing when it came to the red zone is why can't they run like a naked bootleg with Caleb Williams to roll him out and either give him the option to say, look, if you got an opening, take it, run it into the end zone. Who cares if you're throwing it or running it? You're getting in the end zone and giving your team 6. Or in this case, you would have my thinking would be Colson Loveland on the line. He goes on a block, gets a chip block off, and then eventually peels off with the bootleg, gets himself open. He's 6'6". Throw the ball up in the air and let him go for a jump ball. It should be an easy touchdown, and now you're getting your rookie tight end involved in the game. I'm not Ben Johnson. That's just as very simple. That's a play that you can find in like Madden 03, right? But it's I don't know. Food for thought for this team. There's still a lot to be figured out. The fact that they're 4-3 right now, though, would anybody have guessed this team would have been 4-3 at this point? Sure, maybe you would have, but I didn't think they would be. I didn't think they'd have a winning record at this point in time through the season. So still props to this team. And the fact that they've looked as good as they have through Ben Johnson's offense, despite the issues they may have had, I mean, they're more on track. Scotty was the one that pointed it out, that, it took a year and a half for that offense in Detroit to finally start to click. And they're ahead of schedule as far as the statistics show for where the Bears are at compared to where the Lions were at through all these games. So we'll see what happens. All right. Yes, the Jets and the Bengals. I know what everyone's thinking. You're going to start crying about your Bengals and Jets. I got all those emails. No, because I thought the Bengals played well. The defense is a problem. And I know they had a player-only meeting to talk about the defense. But this is more so pertaining to the fact that the Jets got their first win. And everyone was asking, how do you let the Jets have that team be the first one? I mean, of course it feels like it would be. But hear me out when I say this, why the Jets won, right? You have a quarterback who just heard his owner basically throw him under the bus. It's Justin Fields' fault. And I will say this, he has been a part of the problem. I wouldn't say he is the problem, but I'd say he's a part of it. And he went out and he played extremely well in this game. Combine that with Breece Hall, who had one of his best games of his career thus far. I mean, and even then threw the game-winning touchdown for good measure. And I'm not a believer in this. I'm not a religious person on any means. But I think there was a little bit of divine intervention on this too, right? Because obviously, if you don't know, one of the all-time great Jets, I would dare to say, Nick Mangold, passed away just that day at 41 years old due to complications from kidney disease. And I have to think that there was some sort of, again, I'm not a believer in this stuff to any extent, but I think in this case, it feels like there was an extra force that might have been helping the Jets to guide into that victory. So I can't be mad about that. And it was a good game. It was a pretty darn good shootout. I mean, I forgot that I was like, oh, right, the Bengals have Samaje Perine. Boy, whoever picked him up in fantasy must be pretty happy with the performance he had, which probably would be very few. I mean, that's the thing. This shows that the Jets, I think, can win. And obviously, Woody Johnson has stayed committed to Aaron Glenn. Long term, is this thing going to turn around for them and they're going to have a winning record? I don't think so. But I think this shows that this team has some sort of resiliency. It's just a matter of picking up the pieces right now, trying to focus on the positives that you have at hand and take it from there. Take it one game at a time, best that they can. Bengals-wise, I'm going to be honest, they may not have Joe Flacco for this game against the Bears. They may be putting out Browning. So I would say start Browning, call Kirk Cousins to see your due diligence was done, and then basically try to win the season, but get the highest draft pick you possibly can. And if it is, and take Fanu from Utah, please, to protect Joe Burrow. I don't.
Proctor.
Proctor's another one.
I don't think they're going to fall to get a top pick, so they're going to be drafting in the middle. Proctor will probably be there. I don't think Proctor's going to go in the top 10.
I mean, listen, we looked at a draft. We looked at a mock draft, and one of them had Caleb Downs falling to the Bengals at 15. Yes,
you want to be honest
you.
though? That is pretty good. And
I never cheer for an Ohio State guy. If I saw him come to the Bengals, I might jump for joy because that's the God DB. That guy changes games.
Yeah, and he'd be an improvement over Geno Stone.
Anybody would be an improvement. I'd put Logan Wilson at safety. That's an improvement over Geno Stone. God. He's just a Ravens guy. Stupid. All right. Last one we're going to talk about is
the Packers, quote-unquote, dominating the Steelers. It only took them the first half. It only took them a whole half to figure it out.
Right. But in this case, with the performance that they had, I would say it was a pretty dominant performance. Yeah, you could put quotations around it, fine. But you go into Pittsburgh. It's a road game in Pittsburgh against the Steelers, a Steelers team that has a healthy defense, mind you. TJ Watt's out there, and they don't register a sack on Jordan Love, and he almost went perfect. He almost went for 400 and had 3 touchdowns. I said it, and people can argue against me on it, and I know they will because I've already gotten them. If you're going to talk about MVPs, I think the guy that's leading a 5-1-1 football team right now, whose numbers statistically rank up there with the top quarterbacks, I think you have to put him at least on the back end of the conversation for MVP in Jordan Love. With the way that he's playing, I'm not saying he's going to win you a Super Bowl. I'm not saying he's going to win the damn thing, but at 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a winning record, I mean, and they had nothing out there. Tucker Kraft should not be the starting tight end.
Nah, you should be. Kraft
now he should be. But let's be honest. They drafted Luke Musgrove in the 2nd round to make him the starting tight end, and Tucker Kraft has this game was a discount Patrick Mahomes Travis Kelce game for these two.
Has Jordan Love done anything this year for you that's wowed you, or in the sense that, like, okay, wow, the Packers could not have won that game without Jordan Love?
Because can I be honest? He's not even the main part of their offense.
No, it's Josh Jacobs.
And Josh Jacobs, even when he's hurt, he's getting 20 carries and a touchdown.
Right.
So how much are you actually putting on Jordan Love, to be honest?
And that's, I wasn't trying to completely poo-poo on your idea. Like, I would definitely consider him, but like you said,
right,
on the way back end, like, I'm going to go Mahomes.
No,
I'm going to go Josh Allen.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go still Baker Mayfield as of right now.
I put Jonathan Taylor way above him.
Jonathan Taylor, yes.
Like he's.
I would put Dak over Jordan Love at least.
I would too. Yes, I would put Dak above him as well. Like
Tyler Warren.
Honestly, though,
I put Drake May ahead of him. There's guys.
Honestly.
Yes, he is the last guy on the list for sure for me. But and you're right. Like Josh Jacobs, he's the guy on the offense. But it's this game here that I'm kind of like, okay. He needed, like, this was the game where I go, all right, this was you performing. This was you leading the Packers to a win. Because, yes, they established the run still in this game, but he is putting that ball in the end zone. He's putting that ball on the money to Tucker Kraft, to Romeo Doubs. Like, he's working with a baseline receiving core, if you want to call it that, because Christian Watson couldn't have been 100% for this game. I'm sure he was good to go, fine, whatever that is, but he's probably at 75, 80%, maybe at best. This was, I think, his kind of like, hey, I'm here. I can still make plays. I can still help this team win. It's not the end of the world by any means, but for me, this I think proves that the Packers are still a team that's in the hunt for sure for the division, contention for the playoffs, and that for me it says, look, Jordan Love maybe is not the franchise-defining quarterback, but at least if anything, he is a franchise quarterback, and I think that is, for me, that is important. I think to put out there, because you just went against the guy that he was supposed to be teaching you, right? Your master when you are the apprentice, and you got one over him in his home quotations, right? Home. But you went into Pittsburgh against a healthy defense. You didn't get touched, made all the plays. I give him his props for this game. If he goes out the next game and he's like 150 with 2 interceptions, okay, and then we got to have a conversation. I don't know who they're playing, but yes, we have to have a conversation maybe then. But after this game, how he played, give him his flowers. Give him his flowers and say, Jordan Love, you did good. You did good. You did good. You got the win. You're playing well. So don't attack me because I want to. When guys have good games, just say they had a good game. There's nothing wrong with that. Say good game, pat them on the behind, and let them have their. They're like, yeah, I did it, right? Come on. Don't you want that in your life, people? We all want that. Scotty, don't you want that? I'm not patting you on the behind, by the way, but
no,
I'm just
Jordan Love's not even the main part of their offense.
That's fine.
I just can't get behind that because he's not.
I understand.
He's not the main guy there.
I understand.
it's all Josh Jacobs. If he's not playing, that offense is going to look way off. And think about he couldn't do anything against Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
And I know
That's
Cleveland's a good defense,
one of the top
but, like,
defenses.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's fair to also say that I think the Steelers' defense is certainly struggling.
Yeah,
And-
for
and
being
which
the
is-
most
which-
expensive defense, yeah.
That's the problem. You put all your resources into one side of the ball, and this is what's coming out of it. That is not okay. That's what might get Mike Tomlin, you're out of here.
Andrew, you get to celebrate like I did last week.
Yeah, we did. All right. We're going to it. The weekly recap, wrap-up review, as we always do, taking the top stories from your questions in college football. Yes, it's true. Believe it or not, Brian Kelly has been fired from LSU, and everybody and their mother and grandmother were hitting me up going, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? How do you feel? What do you think? How do you feel? And I went, yay. And here's why. It wasn't like, woo, it's a party. Brian Kelly no, I can't get behind that because I saw this coming. I knew this wasn't going to work from day one when they hired him. He never fit Louisiana. He never embraced the state. He doesn't recruit, obviously. That's a big problem there, too, as a coach that was supposed to be a celebrated recruiter and a closer. None of it fit Louisiana. This is a guy from the Northeast coaching in the Midwest at the predominant Catholic school in college and the country, Notre Dame, and now he's coming to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Make it make sense. It doesn't. It does not. Other than, well, he's a winning coach. Look at all the success he had at Notre Dame. And I put that, exact success in quotations. I put this on the guy who also got fired too, the athletic director Woodward, because he's a by-the-book standard kind of guy. He's a very kind of, I want to do it this way and this way and this way and this way. And he had headbutts with Orgeron because Orgeron is, oh, come on, man, we got to have fun. We got to, embrace all of this stuff. We got to make sure that we're having a good old time here in Baton Rouge,
No, you're a little bit too understanding. I could still understand you a little bit more. By the way, he said he wants to come back. He'd want to come back.
Yes, come back. Please, come back. I will hug you. I will hug you all day. Please. He never should have been fired in the first place. You're 2 years removed from a national championship, and you're going to let him walk away? He's the one that got you Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. He's the reason, part of why Jaden Daniels wanted to go there in the first place. He just stayed committed there because he goes, well, Brian Kelly's still a winning coach. Maybe something will come of it. And by the way, Mike Denbrock is part of the reason why he wins the Heisman Trophy, because that offense was cooking with him. The problem becomes, and I said this on Blow the Whistle beforehand, they wanted to promote Joe Sloan, the OC, who got fired as well, by the way, to co-offensive coordinator. Mike Denbrock didn't want that, so he left and went to Notre Dame. What happens? Notre Dame goes to the national championship. They don't win it, but they go there. LSU, meanwhile, that offense goes, woo, like on a roller coaster ride.
He also makes Riley Leonard look like a capable quarterback.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, that's not supposed to happen. But that's the beauty of having a smart, divisive offensive coordinator who knows what he's doing, and he's left alone. This co-offensive coordinator thing, because you want to try and keep guys, and a quote defensive coordinator thing that you want to try and keep guys, it doesn't always work. Sometimes it does. It doesn't always. You go to Ohio State right now, they've got the co-offensive coordinator, but Brian Hartline's in charge of the offense. First and foremost, he's on top. The other guy is just like, I'm here too. And Brian Hartline's like, yeah, that's great. I'm in charge, though. Like, that's how this works. This was supposed to be a thing where it's like, well, Mike, you're gonna call plays, and Joe's going to be involved in calling the plays. And Mike's like, it's me or him. And Brian Kelly said, well, I choose Joe. I like Joe. He went, see ya. I'm going to the school that you just left.
So, question.
Yeah.
This is the only thing I kind of want to ask about this. Do you think any of the outside factors with Brian Kelly maybe favored into this a little bit more? Because his record's not terrible.
Right.
Like, he is performing. It's just a down year. Lost some of his best players. Like, it is a down year. Do you think the outside stuff with him is maybe more of a reason to fire him than the on-field performance?
It's possible. A lot of people can read into that for sure. I think you can easily say there was it's a collaborative effort of all these things that came together, right? Everything came together on him, and it all just kind of was like, you know what? The outside noise combined with what's happening on the field, it's clearly all interfering with it. It's not getting better. Improvements not being made. The locker room sounded like a mess. I have a few connections down there in Louisiana, and the few that I was talking to, I'm like, what's the vibe in Baton Rouge? And this came before the game against A&M, and they're like, it's not feeling good. The team doesn't feel together. The energy seems out of the box. Everybody's kind of waiting for the season to end. There were players that were possibly looking to sit, and Harold Perkins is one of them who's like, yeah, I think I'm done here, which is sad because he's one of their top players who just wasn't performing for some odd reason. And I think they got the defensive coordinator right in Blake Baker. But you let the OC walk away. That helped you get a Heisman Trophy winner. And at the very point, you hired a head coach that I just think never fit Louisiana. We all knew it. The moment he came out there in that basketball game and said, it's great to be here with the family, the moment you start faking a Southern accent, you're dead in the water. You're done. You're cooked. It's over. I already didn't like it. The moment he did that, I never forgot. The guys were asking me, what'd you think? And I'm like, I think they'll be lucky to have a winning record at the end of the season and win a bowl game. I'm just right now I'm more excited about the process of finding the next head coach. And right now, I know he lost last night, but John Summerall is still a guy I would put on the radar. Because after this AD, after what he said about the whole thing, the lieutenant governor and his little rant that he went on about the athletic director, he's not picking the next head coach. If I'm Lane Kiffin, if I'm Dan Lanning, if I'm any of those coaches that might have been interested that are prominent head coaches, I'm going, yeah, no thanks. I'm out on Louisiana. So here's hoping that Tulane might be willing to let John Summerall walk away. Or Joe Brady maybe wants to move down, but I think he's going to get an NFL head coaching job. If not, I think if Glenn Schumann doesn't go to Florida, and I think he should, I'd be lucky to say that LSU could get him too. You need a guy who can recruit, build a new culture, bring in the chemistry, bring in energy. But John Summerall fits. Why? Because he knows Louisiana more than anything else. And you dare not let Frank Wilson, the head coach right now, walk away. You keep him. Because he's the guy doing all the work for you right now on recruiting. You saw none of these recruits have dipped. Why? Because they're doing the work. Penn State, they dipped. UCLA, they dipped. When Brian Kelly got fired, no one decommitted. They got a recruit after he got fired. Bye, Brian. I hate Brian Kelly so much. I really do.
You understand my problems with him from when
well, you sent me. I was concerned with you. I was concerned about you and Billy Napier. I'm emo on this. I'm like, it all means nothing. I'm nihilist about this. Just whatever. Means nothing to me anymore. So, see you, Brian Kelly. All right, real quick news. It's not finalized just yet, but it just came across. Sounds like it might be happening. James Franklin, Virginia Tech, they sound like they're putting together the contract that's going to make him the head coach there.
Cool.
Just wanted to put that out there. So, David, whenever you get here, if you hear this, man, I was right. I called it. That's all I really wanted to do on that one. All right. Let's talk about this. So, I got a question from somebody. We'll go through this because I have to.
It'll lead into your first pick six.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
It'll lead in the first pick six, and we'll get on that because somebody was talking to me about Vanderbilt, and then somebody asked me the question about the Texas comeback, and it was really kind of a question on both these teams being like, how legit are we looking at these two teams now after these last games? Because Vanderbilt wins against Missouri, but only by 7, and they didn't look their best. Meanwhile, Texas has an overtime win against Mississippi State, Not their best look, obviously, but probably the best look we've seen from Arch Manning in terms of what we've all talked about him being an elite quarterback, right? So where are these two teams kind of at is kind of the question. And I'll say this right now. I don't know if Vanderbilt's making the college football playoff. I thought you were going to be like, I thought you were going to be shocked, Scotty. And look, I know they're a fun story. We love Diego Pavia. He's great. You know, he's got a chance maybe to win the Heisman. Like, it's just really hard for me to look at him and go, yeah, man, but Bama and Ole Miss and A&M, they're ahead in the SEC right now in terms of, like, their stock and their firepower. They just feel like a better team. Like, it's cool that Pavia's doing all this crazy stuff and they're winning these games and he's doing all this magical, you know, having these magical moments. But how legit is Vandy? How legit are the Commodores as a contender for the playoffs? It feels like it's another story like a Boise State where we were going, yeah, Ashton Genty, you never know, man. If he goes off, he might lead Boise State to the – and we were all kind of sitting here going, no, it's a nice story. He might get the record, but after that, there's no way Boise State's winning a national championship. So many things would have to go wrong for them to be able to do it. And it feels like that's the same case here with Vanderbilt. I don't think they're playing in the SEC championship. I don't think they're going to be winning a national championship. As for Texas, I could still see Texas being in the college football playoff and maybe finding a way to the SEC championship. A lot of things have to go wrong, obviously, and I don't know if they will because Bama and A&M look like they're going to kind of ride this one out. But at least for Texas, if anything, that was the best we saw of Arch Manning, and this could be his kind of like moment of appearance, perhaps. What's been a very up and down season for him, this could be his kind of opportunity to say, I have arrived. Maybe it just took him a while. Who knows? I mean, Mississippi State, not a great team, but not a bad, not a terrible team by any means. So, as far as where these two teams are at and how legit are they, I'm saying this right now. For me, if anything, I would still put Texas ahead of Vanderbilt, despite the fact that they're heading into this week with a very big battle on them, and we'll get here very soon on that. But real quick, I just want to mention, too, if there's any more legitimate college football playoff contenders or not. That was something that I was kind of looking at. And, you know, I'm looking at the rankings. I'm looking at a lot of the top teams because, you know, like I just said, like Vanderbilt, where are they at in this? I don't really see them there. I think you have to start talking about maybe Georgia Tech being one of those teams. There's some energy there in Atlanta that I think they just have, and its name is Haynes King. The guy is playing like a Temu version of Tim Tebow and getting the job done every time. The guy is literally going to the bathroom and peeing blood, apparently, and still playing football. He's so tough. It's unreal. Still think Miami's a mix. Still think they're in the hunt. BYU could be an interesting one. I know you don't like that, Scotty. I know.
To me, there's only like 5 real contenders now.
Okay.
Just because of how consistent they are.
Yeah.
And one of them doesn't really fit that, but they're going to get into the college football playoffs, so they're going to be contenders. The only real contenders for me are Ohio State, Alabama, Miami, Texas A&M, and then my shaky one is just Notre Dame because they're going to make it.
Yeah.
And then depending on who they get, they might just be better than them. That's just how Notre Dame is.
Wow, no Indiana, huh?
No.
Okay.
They don't have everything.
Okay.
All those teams I just mentioned, they have everything.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, look, I've said it on this show. I've said it on Blow the Whistle. I'll say it on any other show. There's Ohio State. There's like 50 feet of crud, and then there's everybody else, to quote Moneyball. Because that Ohio State team is legitimate. I think there are teams that could make a play for the college football playoff, maybe make some noise. but it's very tough when we know we want to be able to say, oh, we root for the underdogs. And it's like, yeah, but we all know the Blue Bloods all have enough of the top talent to take them out, and maybe their second team can even take them out possibly. So the only reason I'll say Indiana is because they got the godfather of college football. That dude's a legit coach, no matter how you want to spin it. He knows how to coach a football team. So if anything, he can at least coach Indiana to a win, I think, in the playoffs. I'll give him that. But I don't know if Fernando Mendoza can win you a game with 10 seconds on the line and he's got to make a 60-yard bomb down the field. I don't know if he can do that.
Yeah, to be honest, they beat BYU in the first round, but then they go up against Alabama and lose by 30. So that's
very
where I'm at with
possible.
But so, to me, that doesn't make them a real contender.
Right. That's fair. That's fair. I just wanted to toss that out there because we're getting to that point where we're going to start seeing the CFP polls start to come out, and we know that there's always going to be an argument about that, so we'll get into that obviously later on. All right. Let's finish this off, ladies and gents. Here we go. It's time for the Pick Six. It's where we give you the top 6 games of the week. College, NFL. We may do NBA at some point. We'll see. Well, I mean, it's only the beginning of the season, obviously. We'll see how far we take it. But it's the top 6 games. Scotty, ready to pour into this, man? Kick it off. We got number 9, Vanderbilt, taking on number 20, Texas. Texas favored in this game by 2.5. The over-under's at 44.5. Scotty, start it off, man. Who are you taking for this?
This is my thing where Vanderbilt as an underdog looks really nice.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But
because they could surprise. They had a tough game against them last year.
But I'm based off the way they played last week, I just think the star players of Texas will come out and they'll not dog walk them, but they will show that they are miles above them.
Okay.
I'm going to take that Texas by 3, probably hit the over.
I'm with you. I'm taking Texas, and I'm going to take Texas, I think, by 7. Give them a full touchdown. And it's, again, no disrespect on Diego Pavia, no disrespect on Vanderbilt and what they've done. They've had a great season, but this Texas team is built for the college football playoff, I think. It's still a star. I know last week wasn't a really good look, but it's still a star-studded defense. And that offense, I think, finally kicked itself into high gear. This is a chance for them to be able to start making big moves. And it's a big win here against Vanderbilt, I think, by 7. I'm going to say it hits the under. I think Pavia struggles in this one again, too. So, next, we've got, yeah, baby, the big game of the week. Oh, yeah, it's Navy versus North Texas.
Doesn't help because this was gonna be one of the greatest weekends in college football.
Right.
Because you look at your honorable mentions. You got Miami.
Yeah, I got
SMU.
some good games in here.
You got Miami, SMU. SMU was ranked. And They were just on and off. You got Florida versus Georgia. Florida's so bad they fired their head coach.
Right.
Mississippi versus South Carolina. South Carolina was going to be this dark horse, and then Lenora Sellers got injured.
Yeah.
That kind of fell off after that.
Yeah.
You got ISU versus ASU, Arizona State versus Iowa State. Supposed to be a pretty good Big 12 matchup.
Sure.
Both teams playing pretty meh. And then you got Penn State versus Ohio State. That game was going to be game of the year. Now it's going to be just Ohio State by 50.
I guess that does it for the honorable mentions there. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, this is. I know it's a rough schedule and everything, but right now, North Texas is actually favored against the undefeated Navy midshipmen. So it's right now at 6.5. The over/under though is at 65.5. Scotty.
Oh yeah, because their quarterback's awesome.
Yeah.
Because their
best story in college football right now.
Coach or their offensive coordinator. He's like a quarterback guru. It seems like.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm gonna take North Texas. I'm gonna take them by 3 though, and then that over will somehow hit.
I love a story about a dude who didn't start, walks on out of school, and becomes their starting quarterback over a dude that transferred from a big university like Miami. That takes stuff. Metameester's gone, by the way, after this year because he's a freshman, and he's going to go play in a big program more than likely. Probably Miami or something, I'm sure. Something like that. Watch them go to Texas. Watch them go to
Watch
Texas.
them go to Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech. Maybe. We'll see. But I like North Texas in this game. I would like Navy to stay undefeated so it kind of scares Notre Dame a little bit more, just to kind of freak out my buddy Tom. I love him very much, but he's a Notre Dame fan, and I want to see him suffer.
Only for Notre Dame to win 56-10.
Yeah, unfortunately. I'm sure that's what will happen. But I'll take North Texas on this. I like the way that they're playing. I'll take them. I'll take them by like 4. I'll take them by 4. Yeah, cut the lead down a little bit more to them, and that's a big over/under on that.
It's just somehow gonna hit.
Yeah, it's gonna be a shootout. The thing is, it's a passing attack versus a running attack, and the defenses are kind of somewhere in the like, we're kind of good. Like it's so wishy-washy. You're right. This is a really rough week for college football. All right. Well, this could be a good one. We'll see.
Hey, I was right about John Mateer last week.
Yeah,
I was so right about
you
that
were.
kid.
Number 18, Oklahoma, taking on number 14, Tennessee. Tennessee favored by 3.5. 55.5 is the over/under. Scotty?
Well, of course they're favored. They're wearing the Halloween jerseys. It's blackout in Neyland Stadium. So with that logic, it's Tennessee. So,
Okay.
I'm going to take the under, though, because Mateer's still playing hurt, and you can tell.
Hey, these quarterbacks got to knock it off. From Nussmeier to Mateer, they're just hurting their stocks, and they're hurting themselves, literally hurting themselves. I'm taking Tennessee on this, too. I'm taking Tennessee by like 10. I mean, it's a good Oklahoma defense, but I like Joey Aguilar, man. He can just let it go. And Brazel, I think is his name, the wide receiver they have that can just he's their typical Tennessee guy. I'm gonna run a streak, and then hey, the football's in my hand, and then he's going into the end zone because that's what they do. Not Velus Jones Jr. though. He doesn't do that. No, he doesn't do that at all. He fumbles way too much. Maybe don't draft a 25-year-old to be your punt and kick returner that can't field a punt and kick. All right, you know what? I'm ranting on a team that I don't even root for anymore. All right, yeah, I'm taking Tennessee. I'm going to say Tennessee by 10. I'll say it hits the over. I'll give Oklahoma some credit. They maybe get some points up on the board, but I think Tennessee runs away with it. Next, number 23, UCLA against Nebraska. Now, I know everybody's going to say, like, this is going to be lopsided, but UCLA favored by 6.5. Over-under's at 58.5. Scotty, where you going, man?
Well, I need to know the time. Because if this is at noon, this is going to be Nebraska.
I believe it was an afternoon game or an evening game, maybe.
This is 6:30. All right, USC by 10.
Okay. I mean, it's in Lincoln too at night.
Under.
And okay.
Sorry, Tyler.
I'm gonna say USC, but I'm gonna say USC by 3.5. I'm gonna say this just hits the over. Because this is in Lincoln. Nebraska, I think, is a little bit of home field advantage. They're going to be debuting their black jerseys. I'm excited to see that. I don't know. This could be a fun. Yeah, they do. This could be a fun shootout between these two quarterbacks for sure. Mayava and Raiola. This could be the back and forth that we've been looking for, folks. All right, last college game I got, because this is probably the one that's going to be. Should be the game of the week, but probably will end up being a blowout one way or the other. Number 17, Cincinnati against number 24, Utah. Utah favored by 10.5. The over at 55.5.
It should be more. It's a blackout game. Utah by 20.
Really?
No, honestly though, I could see it. Although because I've been seeing people saying Devon Dampier isn't the guy there, but you just don't know talent there in Utah.
You don't know Utah quarterbacks because you've seen one guy there for 7 years.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
That kid is great. I'm actually gonna take Utah by 20. They're wearing all black. And then I'm gonna take the under though, because I don't think Cincinnati's gonna keep up with them. I think momentum's just gonna be on Utah's side the whole night.
Okay. I'll give Cincinnati a little bit more credit. I'll put it at 6.5 for Utah. And
Sorsby will keep them in the game and just keep them going.
yeah, I mean, the problem is they don't have Evan Pryor. He's now going to be out for the game, so their running game is going to take a bit of a hit. But Sorsby, for what lack of performance he may have had in terms of passing yards, he just finds the end zone, and that's the impressive part about him is he's very accurate. So I'll say 6.5. Utah gets the win, but since he can cover, and I agree, I'll go with the under on this as well too. Last game, we got it. It's the only NFL game I think that's really going to matter other than one, and that's just stretching it. Kansas City, Buffalo. Chiefs are favored by 2.5. Over-under's at 52.5. Scotty, who you taking?
Chiefs by 3 under.
Okay.
Just as sadly, the Bills are, I mean, yes, the Chiefs have looked like a better team over the last couple weeks, but you think that the Bills are the overall better team, but that's just not how this works in this rivalry. I understand that, Josh Allen wins it in the regular season. I don't know. There's something different there this year. The Chiefs actually look good going into this game. So I think that's going to give them a lot more momentum.
Fair. I'm right there with you. I'll take the Chiefs. I may take them by 6.
Nah, this is like Butker hits like a field goal with like 1:50 on the clock, and then they stop him on defense.
I don't know if I would say Butker because Butker's been off this year. He's been hit or miss this year.
Well,
Maybe
that's
you should hit
normally
the
how
kitchen.
kickers are, Andrew.
Well,
They
hit the
either
kitchen,
hit it
bud.
or they miss it. And you know what? I do want to mention your honorable mention: Indiana versus Pitt,
Yeah.
or Indianapolis versus Pitt. This is a very intriguing game for Indianapolis because they've literally been playing cans the whole year. So, are they actually a legit team? We'll give them like one of the top tier defenses.
I
in
thought
the
them
NFL,
beating the
and
Chargers
then
was a pretty
figure it
legit
out.
win.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's
Liquid
fair.
LA, just
I mean, listen, at some
their only improving win
if-
is Denver.
Yeah.
But Denver is like that was before Denver kind of figured it out.
Sure.
Now they're figuring it out.
I mean, look, I think at some point, if they keep winning, we're going to have to eventually say they're a contender.
Get that? I'm just saying that they're
So-
just playing cans.
Right.
So like
That's fair. I mean, we could
like
say
you
the
look at
same
their
thing
next
for
teams too. They're playing Atlanta. Like
Right.
what? Like they're going right back to playing cans the whole year.
And we could say the same thing for Pittsburgh here, too. They're struggling with defense. I mean, they got Kyle Duggar.
Yo, he might
Hear that
actually be
silence,
pretty good,
folks?
to be honest.
I don't think he's going to make that big a difference, honestly. But, yeah, I mean, out of the NFL game, yeah, I mean, Scotty kind of ran through them. The only other one I had on here could be a sneaky good game I thought was Georgia Tech against NC State because NC State's got an offense. Their defense is booty, but their offense can at least – you're such a child. You know that? I say booty and you chuckle. I mean, it is. It's all gas, no brakes with that team, honestly. And I mean, they have maybe a top running back too, with a cool name, Smothers. I mean, come on, he smothers that ball and takes it in the end zone. He's awesome. So, I would be intrigued by that game. But yeah, those are the honorable mentions that Scotty kind of ran through. I mean, it's a hit or miss. Some of them are kind of more pertain to kind of like. The Florida one, I'm only putting on there because it's like, all right, you've had a week off, no Billy Napier. Can this team click it together? We'll see. That's going to do it for us here, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be the show. We appreciate you guys as always. We love you guys. Means the world to us that you guys could be a part of it as always. We thank you. Appreciate all the questions. Appreciate all the comments. If you guys want to check us out anymore as we keep on going, ladies and gents, you can hit us up as always. We're streaming every Friday on YouTube, on Twitch, XBomb Sports. Go find us. You can find us on all those platforms at any given time as well on the social media side too. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, where we're putting out all the media as much as we possibly can. We're going to do more engaging stuff here very soon. That's the plan, to do more stuff, more reactions, more this, more that. Try to get more stuff out there for you guys to be able to kind of bounce back with us and be able to kind of give good feedback. We appreciate it as always. And keep that feedback coming too. And if you guys want to get a bit more, that's xbsportsofficial@gmail.com if you guys want to hit us up with any more of that stuff. Hey, while we're going off, you guys might want to stick around on your YouTube side and go over to a YouTube channel, I should say, to watch a show by the name of Bad Karma Wrestling. It's our boys, No Gimmicks Nick Johnston, and hopefully he will be okay, David Double D Dykstra. they are going to be talking about all the news hitting down from the WWE and AEW, which, again, like I said at the beginning of the show, a lot of stuff going down, a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm intrigued with what's going on for them both. I can't wait to hear what they have to say. We got a lot to talk about here for Bad Karma Wrestling. Again, that's Bad Karma Wrestling on YouTube, coming up here very, very soon. And then, of course, too, I don't know if we're going to be going or not, but if we don't, check us out at Blow the Whistle every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And, again, we'll see what happens today, but mostly Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Most Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Where it's myself, David W. Dykstra, Tyler Butterball, No Gimmick Stick Johnson. Occasionally our buddy Adam jumps in. Sometimes we have Scotty if he can stick around, but no, he always has to work. And, of course, our boy Frankie Oliveri, but he's not here right now because for whatever reasons. But we always talk about all the same stuff we just talked about today, and then some of, well. Make sure to check that out. That's at Sports Sound Chicago's YouTube page and at sportsoundchicago.com. And with that, thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, much love. Peace out, Boom Crew.